Salutations, people. That is Error. Cyber. The song name is Cyberware. It's by Error. Yeah. I'll put the link for that in the description bar below. If you guys want to check it out. Shots, man. I need to go grab the patreon.com/Freedom Faction link for you guys, but I don't want to interrupt this song. So you're lucky. You're lucky. We're going to be going over your questions and having you guys join us in this edition. I think everybody appreciates a sexy voice or some good music, man. And if you don't, there's probably something wrong with you. Salutations and welcome to the part 2, segment 2 of Instagram Crew Day, Instagram Live Day. Tuesday, we're going to be going over your guys' questions, topics surrounding the coronavirus, vaccines, and more in this edition. Yeah, you know, I don't like, I feel bad whenever I swear. I'm just gonna say it. I feel bad whenever I swear. Sometimes I just get worked up, and you know, I think my suave and my cool goes right out the window, and I just try to end up starting swearing, and I don't like it because I'm trying to present information to you guys. I'm trying to be as like cool, calm, and collected as much as I can, and I just hate it whenever like my emotions take over and I start swearing and making like a whole bunch of jokes and stuff, because it doesn't necessarily denigrate the information, but it's a personal thing. I want to make sure, you know, this is just, it's like if you were to, I tell people this all the time, go ahead and show people these shows, let them listen to the episodes, put the work out there. I already sound crazy enough, you don't have to. And if I'm over here swearing, carrying on, you know, swearing like a sailor, acting like a jerk off, you know, that really does defeat the purpose. I hope that makes sense. And so even though we've created everything we're doing and doing what we're doing, just because we can swear doesn't mean that we should. That's why I'm always trying to show you guys like the respect of breaking things down, and just having that level of authenticity. I hope it makes sense. But that's all. Is I replay like that past hour we just had, and I'm like, man, I gotta stop swearing. I gotta stop cussing. I just got triggered with that like Psy Op question, because we've been here for several years. People have to understand that. It's what, 2020? We started the page like back in 2012. We started taking it serious maybe 2014. Trump got into like at 16, and then ever since then we've just been having to progressively get better in the face of this. We've had to rise and expand in the face of adversity instead of cower and shrink. It must be nice to share all these cute little memes about all this stuff that's going on versus us having to provide research, analysis, breakdowns, guests, and more explaining these things. And so that's all. So when people call us a psyop, I take it personal, because it's like if you had a house, you had a party, somebody coming over saying, oh, yeah, oh, look at you look at you, huh? Actually affecting people, huh? Where's the, what you selling? You selling drugs? You selling something illegal? There's no way you could do this. I like legit get like frustrated somebody talking that type of smack to us, because it's you too that they're talking smack about. So yeah, sorry that I'm swearing. Sorry I get worked up. It's because I respect what we're doing and the impact we are having. We have people with blue check marks. We got people with much higher credentials than myself. People with clearances much higher than myself. People with letters behind their names. People in the White House. We have FBI, intelligence agencies, law enforcement, military, politicians, businesses, celebrities, We have a lot of people that follow us, and I don't sit up over here and stroke my own ego. They follow because we do the work. You get me? And even where they're at, they're not getting this type of analysis and breakdown. And it takes this type of thought process to get it out there. So that's all. That's all. Sometimes I misunderstand my audience. That's all. But yeah, we are going to be having you guys on, the guests. We're going to be letting people join us to talk about the coronavirus, Obamagate. If people want to talk about that, information coming out about Obama's involvement with Operation Fast and Furious, shipping firearms to Mexican drug cartels. We can talk about that. The human residence, climate change, Agenda 21, the New World Order, technocracy, all these different types of things. We can talk about this and more. Big Rex all day. Let's get him on. I think that'll be a good thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Salutations, Big Rex.
What's up, buddy?
What can I do for you?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty opposed to you, but I'm gonna be respectful because you seem like a very nice guy. So if you don't want me on here, I can respect that. You can hang up on me.
If you get disrespectful, I will.
No, I won't be disrespectful. I've been saying some stupid shit in the chat. I'm gonna be honest with you, though.
That's usually how people try to get our attention. What's up?
So I'm just curious, and I'm not trying to start a fight or anything. I'm just like honestly asking, why do you think that if Bill Gates has all this money and all this influence and all these very smart scientists around him, why would you think that his agenda would be to ruin the world and to take all this control when he has so much money and all he has to do is just keep printing money?
It's a control agenda. It's to control people, not destroy the world.
Right, but don't you think that other people would see that's all these genius scientists? Why would they allow him to just push that agenda and push dumb stuff down people's throats if they think that he's actually toxic for the world?
Because they're part of the power structure. They stand to benefit. The
How?
people that are deemed essential stand to benefit.
I don't understand how, though.
What do you mean?
How would they benefit? So the world goes back to normal. They have these vaccines in us now. What do you think that they gain from that?
Control. Look at
what type of control? I'm just curious, like what type?
Look at how many different surveillance companies are profiteering from this, or at least trying to profiteer.
Okay, I'm not opposed to you saying surveillance is a little too much in this day and age, but I'm just curious how the medicine plays into this. Like, you getting a vaccine as a child doesn't control your life.
Right. Well, think about it like this. A couple of years ago, maybe even last year, we reported how Johnson & Johnson was basically selling, I don't know if it was Johnson & Johnson, it was a pharmaceutical company, selling drugs for people that were addicted to not hydrocodone, not hydroxy, not any of that. I forget what the drug was, but it's like they gave people a drug, came through, and then offered them the drug treatment because they got them addicted. I think it might have been like Suboxone.
You're talking about Percocet and Suboxone, maybe?
Yeah, I think it might have been like that whole deal. And then they came through and then realized the drugs that they were offering to help people kick their Suboxone addictions ended up causing more of a problem. Some people developing like breast cancer, throat cancer, all kinds of weird things like that. So if we look at what's going on with the pharmaceutical industry, why would we not think that vaccines would have that very same effect?
Okay. I mean, I can see that point. Not going to fight with you there. I can see that pharmaceutical industry definitely controls a lot of the world, and that makes a little bit more sense. I'm just confused on the whole economical side of this. I mean, I know that a lot of people are making money from this. You know, they're smart and they invest in certain parts of the economy, but I just don't see how, you know, they would control the economy and stuff from this. But I guess you're saying the pharmaceutical side is what you're talking about. So yeah.
Correct. Well, I mean, think about it too. We talked about it. There were a handful of people as soon as this all started, they got extremely rich. Bill Gates was one of them. Amazon was one of them. I talked about it, generalized it as the telehealth, telecommunications, like big combine benefiting from this. Who stands to gain from everything being shut down? Telehealth, telecommunications. Bill Gates is behind Microsoft, who owns Zoom, who owns Facebook, who owns all these different things, the means of our communications and more. So whenever it comes down to, you know, things like the cure, the vaccine and more, it's like, how would Bill Gates not already profiteer from it? He's invested over several $1 billion into 14 different companies to help manufacture a vaccine. A lot of these things kind of work like charity donations. You put money in, you get money out. And so I guess I look at just the structure of things. and how he's just like all over it. So I'm sorry I couldn't be like a little bit more specific, but does that about answer it?
Yeah, that gets me a little bit there. Thank you.
Of course, bro. Is there anything else?
There was some other stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember right now, so I don't want to hold you up. But yeah, thank you, and appreciate what you're doing. And sorry for the people I pissed off in the chat.
Hey, man, as you coming up here, speaking the truth with us, asking the right questions, believe it or not, this is the type of it's not discourse. This is the type of discussion that people need, because while you might have these very same questions, everybody else may have them as well. And having this type of discussion, it allows for us to open up. So thank you for doing so.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Stay safe out there.
You too, man. Take care. Stay safe.
There he goes. Big racks all day. Yeah. Yeah, I get like, with questions like that, I get like overwhelmed because there's so much stuff I want to say. So I try to slow myself down and explain things like as simply as I can, because I'll go ranting forever and ever about stuff. We have, and I talk about it all the time, I have like a villainous hatred towards Bill Gates. That's why, like, professionally speaking, I try not to talk about him, because I'll just pull up stuff to just say, fuck everything he stands for. Why is this man not in chains, thrown down to the bottomless pits of Tartarus? You know, so it's very, very interesting, and I welcome those type of discussions. I really do, because there's a lot of things going on right now, and people don't know, and having these type of discussions kind of open those things up. So yeah, let's go ahead and get. You know what's funny about that? Real talk, guys. I accidentally pulled Big Racks all day on. I had to misclick something, but I think that's how these things work. But let's go ahead and get Jason James on. Jason James.
Yeah, how's it going?
What's going on, Jesse? How are you?
Yeah, man, I'm blessed, man. You know what I'm saying? I fully agree what's going on with the whole thing, you know, and I believe truly what you're saying. I follow daily, and I like all your posts, but what I'm trying to say is a little bit was in my mind. You know what I mean? This is a real big board game, you know what I'm saying? And the ones that can understand the board game, of course we gotta always come outside and create and do whatever we gotta do, but definitely believe out here that there's aliens, believe out here that there's different dimensions, believe out here that there's different perceptions, and they're literally fast forwarding life. Man, I could right now remember as a child when 9/11 happened, like still like yesterday. So if I could like remember that, and I could feel like time has been forward, man, there's really, really money being out there, being tossed out and being lost. I'm talking about like trillions of dollars. Trillions of dollars is $1 billion 1,000 times, I believe, in a pallet. So if there's money like that being thrown out and being like vanished and nobody knows the whereabouts, where is it going? Man, there's really, really other planets out here that got broadcasting services just like me and you talking, but we just can't see them just because of the spectrum of lights that we got. So, and that being said, it's all just a psychological warfare that's going on, and we just literally need to just crack the code as much as we can and just open up these people's minds as much as we can, because you know it's not just about the money, it's not just about the dope, and it's not just about what these politicians are saying. It's a lot of more things going on between our eyes and ears and what we smelling in the air, because man, daily there's a lot of pollution and a lot of just distraction. You know what I mean? So we just really just need to just keep on researching and keep getting this this knowledge, this information that's really given that's being given to us. You know what I mean? Because how else is this knowledge being given to us? I always ask that to myself. This information literally comes from the above us. You know what I mean?
Just to interject, Jesse, because I love everything you're saying, bro.
Appreciate it. Listen.
You're on point. Like everything you're saying. A couple years ago, one of these days I'll be like another show, but I did a lot of research into Project Stargate, Project Simulate, Project Real Flame, and Project Sunstreak. These are all different projects of them, government projects from like the 1970s, 60s, all the way up until like the 90s, of them testing the psychokinetic potentiality of man, whether or not we have the ability to interact with the world with our mind. You were briefly talking about the different dimensions, the different spaces, the different entities and things that are out there.
Exactly.
If you look into, just real quick, and this is something I want the audience to go do as well. If you look into the works of
Agenda 21.
What's that?
Agenda 21 or Project CERN.
It's a corporation out there in Florida.
It's called CERN. It's CERN. It's an acronym. I forgot what it stands for.
It's in the same vein. I think it's like Project Thunderstorm or the Thunderstorm Project out there in Florida. The idea behind it is where they develop different types of lenses, different types of lenses to look into different spectrums of light.
These are the same companies that are doing the chemtrails as well, too, not to mention.
Precisely. Well, that's why they're spraying it, is because we are actually having different entities in different densities react here. The Thunderstorm project that the Thunder Energies Corporation, there it is. The Thunder Energies Corporation in Florida in 2015 conducted a study where they were looking at ITEs 1, ITEs 1 and ITEs 2, invisible terrestrial entities of the first and second kind. Whenever you go look at the actual document, they talk about these entities.
Exactly.
Over military installations, malls, stadiums.
Man, they literally mentioned that thing again in the middle of all this pandemic stuff, and then through all this pandemic, nobody like literally paid mind to it. That they literally refound the existence of aliens and all this stuff. And this is why I'm wearing a mask, just to make them feel good that I know something, but at the same time they not winning, because I really feel like they really not trying to let us know that there's people out here that they're afraid of letting people out here, that there's people that don't have no noses, no mouths. You know what I mean? And that they're able so connected and so in another spectrum that like they don't know how we will react and we will see them. So they like throw these little tactics at us to see how humanity will react, putting on a mask or put on a glove, and staying distance and stuff like that. Man, if people are scared of a lizard, imagine seeing a real humanoid lizard.
People are not ready.
Not at all.
I want to get other people on, my friend. Is there something you want to leave the audience with?
Man, that's it, man. Blessings to you, man, and to you and your family, man, and salute everything that you got in your minds, man. But keep on with your journey, man. Salute it for real, 100.
Thank you, bro. You stay safe out there.
You as well, man. Bless and love.
There he goes. Jesse. There he goes. Make sure I get that. Jesse James, Jason James, SSL. Put that. Yeah. And when I tell you that I research aliens, I research reptilians, inner earth beings, and things like this, those are kind of conversations where I'll have them. But I'll also say in that very same breath, we have to watch out for the false flag alien invasion. If you don't think that you're going to have millions of people going along with this, look at how millions of people are going along with the coronavirus. Project Bluebeam, holograms, and you got to think about it too. Jesse was saying it. All the stuff that they're spraying there in the sky, how it pollutes the air, right? Spraying aluminum, barium, and strontium, all these different chemicals, all these different light, heavy metals, and things like that. That can create the perfect surface that's needed to project these different type of holograms. Now, if you guys want, I'll tell you guys this, real talk. If you guys want to hear a very, very rabbit hole kind of conversation or a little analysis that I did, go back to our episode, Demons, Aliens, and Robots, and you will literally hear me have this conversation where I break down, let's see if I can figure out how to say this in a simple way, where I break down how we're creating basically biological androids to mimic what we think of as aliens so they can receive these extra dimensional signals from lower level entities to power these robots. It's a very, very crazy thing. I did my best. Go check it out because it is very real. And I like talking about that stuff. And that's why I say all the time, that I came into this through the paranormal and the supernatural aspect. I fell into where we are at today. But moving on, let's go ahead and get our next guest on. Let's get Infurious One. Let's see if he will join us. You know.
How you doing, brother? I've been waiting to come in.
Oh, I'm good.
I do.
Man. Sorry to keep you waiting.
No, it's okay, brother. I'm not gonna start your time, but I actually do a lot of research in philosophy, anthropology, over at Cal Poly Pomona.
Nice.
I am not one that I listen to a lot of your posts, and I do academic research, research behind what you're saying, so I can follow up with that. And I'm just gonna say this: what I've learned about the truth with the mass generation is called fear. Fear is the only way to control the masses. So that's one. Once they implement fear, 9/11, any viruses that break out at any moment of time, Zika, Ebola, AIDS was also a man-made created virus that was used to control the depopulate the African American population right now. The whole thing is depopulation. The whole thing is this is not the only thing that's going to go on with the world. This is just phase one.
Yes.
Once they did a whole worldwide pandemic and stuff like that, and you have the WHO and just different countries, and no one's blaming China. No one's actually talking about the source of where all this is coming from. And it's almost kind of scary at one point, because it's like, yes, as much as you or I, because I have a different platform myself, once we try to tell people the truth on Instagram and social media, it's sad because they don't want to necessarily hear it. That's people, yeah.
Just interject real quick, because I love everything you're saying. That's what I was saying in the first segment. People love the delusion. They want to be lied to. They want to get into the hysteria. They want to feel like, oh, well, I'm a part of this.
Yeah, facts.
And because they went along with it, they're like, oh, great, this is perfect. Let's prepare the next bioweapon. So please continue.
So with our thing right now, say if you look at America, and why is it that we are facing every freaking, I don't want to cuss on your platform, but every effing problem right now as far as racism, or people want to name cop killings and stuff like that. This is a problem that's been going on with our race, us and cops for 300 years. It's nothing new to us at all. And then we bring up immigration laws, and then we bring up far right-wing Republicans want to move in and protect their business with a militia and stuff like that. It's just, everything is fucking to the point to where people are so, I'm sorry for saying this, but I'm not sorry. People are fucking dumbed down.
Yes.
I gotta be real. I can't. People are dumb the fuck down. And it's just like, if someone's like, hey, there's a fucking asteroid coming, we need to prepare ourselves. This is what we do. We need to make bunkers. We need to have access to food and stuff like that. People don't pay attention to shit until it hits rock bottom. People don't listen to warning signs. They don't do sufficient enough research, because they are too comfortable with their life. They are too comfortable with the fact that it's like, okay, I'm in quarantine right now. Nothing could happen to me. Nothing is going to happen with my mother. Nothing's going to happen with my father. I have job stability. And the government comes in and says, no, your schooling is gone. Your jobs is gone. Your healthcare means shit to us. Everything that we have done and we have took it for granted is now being controlled by the government. And now that they have control over our lives right now, it is easy for them to maneuver their point of view. So
let me just to interject. I just want to interject real quick, because everything you're saying is 1,000% correct. I was talking about this at the start of this whole coronavirus crisis. My generation, people's mindsets in general, they don't have the willpower or the mental faculties to really understand like what is happening. Even though they're seeing, hey, there's food shortages. Hey, you can't do this. Hey, we're stopping this. People have been so brainwashed, and by comedy shows, by entertainers, by their celebrities to go along. People don't have the
But
willpower to think, hey, it's time to do something different. Hey, maybe I should change my diet. Maybe I should go plant something. Maybe I should drink water. Maybe I should get off these pharmaceuticals. People have been so habituated by comedians and by entertainers to just laugh at things that they don't know how to change their lives. They didn't teach themselves something different. They see these things going on, and they really didn't take the time. That's all I can really keep underlining. They didn't take the time to teach themselves something new, to use this as a for real clean slate, to seek after the truth, to love the truth. As I said before, they love the delusions. They want the hype because it confirms it confirms their weird normalcy bias. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I'm just gonna leave off. I don't want to keep you guys for too long. And I do want your take on this. Is now that we get the information, we can get the information out there. We could, write books, write articles, write journals. We could protest. We could, do all these videos and stuff like that. And of course, like we know that it's going to always be a 50-50, two sides of one coin type thing or deal going on. But I want to hear what would be your subjective reasoning for like actually putting things into effect to actually, like, hey, this is going on. And like, for instance, right now, we are, I want to say that you're African American, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So within our community right now,
Black and proud.
what I'm, huh?
Black
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, hey, Black Power. So with our community right now, I'm gonna speak on this, and I don't really give a fuck if people don't agree with me or not, because it's a black problem. So, anyways, the problem with us, it is. I gotta be real, because there's nothing more annoying than people. It's like people of our culture. They'll rap to our songs. They'll do TikTok videos. They'll do all these things. They'll dress like us, whatever the hell it may be. But as soon as it comes to a black issue, or them meeting us in person, they're scared. There's like, come on, yeah, exactly. You telling me this brother's is taking a jog, and that's any problem. We get pulled over for wearing a suit. We get pulled. But that's not my point. We can get into that for days. But my thing is, what should we as like, what for the brothers and sisters that are watching, what can we do to actually face the issues of what our grandparents and what our ancestors have been facing for over 300 years, living in a white man's America? That's the issue that I want to hear your take upon.
One of the things I've and this is one of the things I've really learned from Forbidden Knowledge and people like Raspy Rawls and more. One of the things that I like that the black community does is we learn to vote with our dollars, vote with our lifestyle. If we don't like something, we're going to pull our bucks away from it. But we don't really create like a lot of things for black people to do different things. Like you got Black Wall Street on Instagram, which is cool. You got Figures Wireless. These are all different pages and people I would tell you guys to recommend. Figures Wireless is their own wireless company, black owned. I feel like that's pretty cool. But we don't have like a lot of things out there that are for like black folk, period. And so when you have us creating things like Colossal, this is another social media platform for specifically black conscious people. We're not thinking like this. I mean, for me to even try to get exclusive members to have this kind of this kind of talk on our own platform, people don't want to join us. So what I figure we have to start doing is building an infrastructure and pulling people off. Like one of the things I've learned just doing this is again learning to use your dollars as like the real weapon. We'll give our money away to anything, to Nikes, t-shirts. It don't freaking matter, bro. But we won't give it back to like somebody doing a startup, somebody that's got like a little company over here, somebody that's trying to sell like bladder wax, sea moss, somebody that's trying to do like herbs and stuff like this. We don't think about creating like a ecosystem, right? A whole little economic system that's designed to just empower people, and that's that whole mindset. I'm trying to figure out how to not weaponize, but like turn into like an activist type of mindset. So when I'm telling people, go ahead. Sorry,
I think the main mindset lies within the power of knowledge, and to acquire knowledge, one has to not just watch YouTube videos or just go and be on social media. I think you have to you have to negate social media for one, and actually start reading books. And that's the thing that people, I guess, us as a generation now, because Generation Z doesn't do that, as well as, you know, millennials. We're not really subject. You know, we've read books, but as long as you're like, I'm into philosophy, of course, you're woke, stuff like that. So, of course, brothers like us, we're going to read, do research and stuff like that. It's something that we enjoy doing. The majority of the masses people don't read, but yet if they do read and they want to acquire that knowledge, it is there. But for African Americans, at one point, you got to think about 75% of African American homes are without a father. Most black men are incarcerated between the age of 15 and about 24 years old before they reach 21. In the hood, in any blood crip neighborhood or stuff like that, it's a 95% chance that we will actually make it out to see the age of 18 or 21 years old. The fact that drugs were implemented into our neighborhoods because we integrated with white neighborhoods or white hoods and stuff like that.
Under George Bush. Under George Bush.
I'm telling you, hey, brother,
Kanye told you George Bush don't like black people. He told you.
No, he don't. No, he don't. Trump or none of them neither. See, the thing is, once that black people start creating our own community, because right now, what is everybody writing on? Hip hop, rap, and you got every other race in their mama trying to say the N word. I ain't gonna say it because I don't want none of y'all be commenting and all that, because it's really sensitive time for us right now. But you know, they want to say the N word. They want to dress like us. They want to rap like us. They just want to be black, but they don't want to have the black problems that it comes with. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Real talk. Just to interject, bro. This is like, because, and this might sound racist to a lot of our followers, but bro, like with the coronavirus, people are feeling what it feels like to be black. With the coronavirus, people are feeling what it feels to be black. Oh, you're getting surveilled. Oh, the cops are going to come snatch you up because you did something maybe wrong, huh? Oh, you're the criminal now. Because of the coronavirus, the rest of the world begins to feel how black people have felt. So it's like nothing really changed for me. Oh, you have to figure out how to vote with your dollars, how to get the best bang for your buck, how to, dodge costs, how to figure out what your rights are. This is what it's like being black in America every day, bro. So I guess where everybody else feels like penalized, scared, chastised, oh, I'm the criminal. We've had to grow up like this. You get me? And people don't understand that mindset.
Just for us, brother, for that one brother who was at the state championships and whatnot, and the referee tells him he has to cut off his dreads to make an example out of him. It really fucking angered me. It really made me mad, because it's like we are sick right now of the racism, the bigotry, the fact that we in every damn movie we have to play. Excuse my language. In every movie that we have to play some thug, or we have to play a slave, or we have to play some low life character type BS and all that, to fantasize what these white people think about us or what the Jews think about us and stuff like that. And it's like, we're more than that. We've been doctors. If people look at the African American inventions that we've made, your refrigerator, your stoplight, your microwave, the computer chip, the first cardiovascular open heart surgery and stuff like that. Different philosophies that people go by. Our history doesn't just start with slavery. It starts with Africa. You look, man, bro. I'm telling you, I don't want to take y'all time because I gotta go to work. But I'm telling you, man, that's why I say, brother, put me on, man, because I got knowledge, man. I'm telling you, man. People need to hear my brother. But hey, listen, man. Hey, you awesome, man. Keep doing your thing, dude, man. Hey. I enjoyed this conversation, dude, and God bless you, my brother. Real talk.
This is why we do this, bro, because people don't understand how many different things we're all up against. And having conversations like this, bro, it puts it, like, real talk, it puts it into perspective why I push so hard for what I'm doing. People think that, oh, only a white man has to do what I'm doing. Fuck no. A black dude can care about the country and all this other stuff too, and he can want what's best for his people and the rest of humanity while doing this. But that's the problem. They push racism and they push division.
Exactly.
I appreciate you coming on and dropping these gems. Definitely join.
Hey, just real quick, to Sarah Hart, I just want to say something to you. It doesn't matter if you black, white, or anything in Hollywood or music. You are selling your soul, point blank, period.
Yep.
to whatever race you are. You sign that contract. Do your research before you speak on it, sister. Anyways, I'm out, brother.
Stay strong. Be safe out there, bro.
I will too, man. God be on.
There he goes. Notorious one. Or infurious one. I'll be sure to put that in the description bar below. Powerful conversation. Yeah, dude. Real talk. You know, I'm a nerd. I think everybody can see that. And I talked about this. You don't really see like my archetype or my like construct or like whoever the hell I am, like whatever. You don't see people like me out there. You don't see patriotic black people. You don't see people, humanitarian black people. You see like this weird, you see it all messed up, man. And so to have these kind of conversations, to see like this culture being promoted that wants knowledge, that wants truth, that wants to like fix these problems and do better. I'm very honored to be a part of it. I wanted to talk about that too with our last guest, but I'm seeing that when I'm seeing that we're not our grandparents. I'm seeing that we're cleaning up. I'm seeing that we're becoming doctors, lawyers, scientists, engineers, politicians, business officials, real estate owners. Like we black folks is doing a lot, bro, and I'm very proud of that. But people don't want to talk about that because it seems racist. It's like, no, you have to understand. When Infurious One was talking about them forcibly putting drugs in the black community to get us addicted so that we don't have group economics, so that we don't learn how to divest our dollars from big box stores and more, it's a very real thing. We're having to learn these things now. We're having to unlearn what we've been learned or what we've been taught. And real talk, these are some of the very same principles that you see me adopt in the Freedom Faction information delivery, the way that we do truth seeking. You've seen me use what has happened to me as an individual, what has happened to black folks as a whole. You've seen me transform that whole message and narrative, put it inside of Freedom Faction and say, hey, look, this is happening to a whole. Humanity as a whole is having our rights lost, our rights robbed. This is why I said with the coronavirus, the rest of the world is beginning to experience what second-class citizen treatment is like, where you're persecuted for simply having an opinion, where you're persecuted for going outside, where you feel victimized for even expressing yourself. You see what I'm saying? People saying, oh, EJ, you talk white. Why? Because I figured out a way to express myself, to talk about the things that I'm displeased by and what I'm going to do in order to rectify the situation. How is that speaking white? But you get what I'm saying. The point is this. They want to put you in a position to where you're disenfranchised, where you think you have no power, other than doing everything that they abide by. That's why we have to figure out a way to teach people their rights, teach people their power, create an infrastructure and a system to not only empower us, but to expand the powers of the oncoming generation. You know, and I'll say this and get into our next guest, man, because this is something I like ranted on just the other day. You know, we got to protect the kids. We got to protect the kids. Like we have to save the kids. And I say that because a couple months ago, I'm always talking to people. We had a guest on, I forget the individual's name, but he talked about doing what we're doing a generation ahead of me and how he was proud to see us doing what we're doing. And I talked about how we're his reinforcements, right? We are the previous generation's reinforcements. The David Ikes, you know, the Bill Coopers, the Phil Schneiders, you know, the Alex Joneses, you know, that whole wave of people. We are their reinforcements, and that's why everything we do has to be in the name of humanity, fighting against this agenda. If we don't start building the infrastructure now, creating the talking points and the narrative for us and for the oncoming generation, we won't have any reinforcements. You get me? That's why I keep talking about this being a multi-generational battle, and why you have to understand what happened before you, why you're fighting one iteration of this, and what's coming next. You get me? So powerful talks. Let's go ahead and get our next guest on. I'll stop wasting your guys' time. Let's go ahead and get Raw Smoke on. Raw Smoke.
Yo, what up, man? How you doing?
What up, Smoke?
I'm glad to be on your live. I love the content, dude. I'm shocked, dude, to be on your live, dude. I didn't think you were gonna pick me, but long story short, I don't want to waste anybody's time.
Oh, bro, I
I,
appreciate you
I don't
doing it.
really watch the news or nothing like that, like in particular, because it's lies and bullshit, and I haven't been watching the news, and I do a little research here and there, and like I just want to take your outlook on the coronavirus and how did it start? Did you think it was man-made or 5G tower shit or all this bullshit, or they really
Bro,
made it in the lab? Or
before I answer that question, are you from the Southwest?
yes,
You in New Mexico too?
yeah.
Oh, bro, I can hear your accent all fierce. I love it.
Thanks.
um,
Yeah,
I can hear it all sick. The
yeah, dude.
coronavirus. Yeah, bro. I'm very glad you asked that question because people are not talking about the coronavirus actually originating from a lab. People
Yeah,
are trying to quickly say, oh, it occurred naturally. It came out of a cave. It didn't even come from bats.
yeah.
People are
That's
trying
just
to
weird.
miss the fact that it literally was manufactured out of China in Wuhan. And then I don't want to say it was released. I don't want to say it was leaked, but it came from there in October and then basically spread. Personally, I think the coronavirus came from the lab. I remember reporting on it, talking about it being kind of like a multi-staged weapon. I compared it to 9/11 with the first towers and then Tower 7. The first initial impact was in China. The second impact was the worldwide impact. And then the third impact, the third tower, World Tower 7, was the socioeconomic and the socio-political implications. That would not have happened if it wasn't organized. It had to be man-made in order for it to have this deliberate rollout. That's why we're seeing something that would normally take 5 or 10 years being rolled out in a couple months. So to answer your question simply, I would say that it is man-made. Bill Gates actually has a patent for it with the Pirbright Institute back in 2015, and
That's crazy.
they're trying to keep this hush hush, bro. But like they're trying to keep it real underneath like the wraps. Like, oh, don't talk about Anthony Fauci working with the Obama administration transferring the bioweapon to China in 2015. I mean, good Lord. Again, more facts about how this has just like been cropped up. No one's talking about Dr. Charles Lieber. This was another, a Harvard scientist with ties to China who got caught smuggling biological materials. He had two students. He was trying to
What the
basically
hell?
yeah, right? Trying to bring materials back from
That's crazy.
Harvard to China. They stopped him on the plane, arrested his ass. Then they
What
found
the
out after
fuck?
investigating
That's
him
crazy.
that this dude was tied to China. Dude, that's what I'm saying.
That's
So for
fucking
them,
outrageous.
well, that's why they're trying to cover up the narrative. They don't. I think that's why I trip out too, because there's so much information connecting
Yeah.
Fauci, Bill Gates, China, the World Health Organization, the National Institute of Health, the CDC, even, and they're still letting this guy go out there and do these things. So it's very crazy to see. But does that about answer your question?
Pretty much, and then there's other people with better questions and stuff that you want to get out, out the way. So,
Oh
yeah,
no,
dude, I just hope everybody on this live is staying safe, and bless you, man, for all this information. I love reading on your posts and your stories and stuff, man. It's very needed in this time of need, dude. We're living in dark times, It's like crazy.
we are, man, but
And
we're
this
all we got.
media stuff is just, some of this shit don't make sense. It don't add up. All these, it's just keep it up, dude.
It was
Huh?
designed that way. It was designed that way, bro. The
Yeah,
same way that
man.
we're having these kind of conversations, you can ask questions. We can talk about this stuff on the page. We were designed to get people to have this conversation, to discuss these things. Everybody that's paying attention to the media and these things that they're being told to think, it was designed that way. They had their thoughts and their consent manufactured. We're trying to create our own thoughts by having this discussion. So thank you, bro, for asking that.
All right, man. Everybody have a blessed one. Peace out. Enjoy your week.
Stay safe out there.
For sure. Peace.
There he goes. Raw smoke. Hey, I don't know if he's a Pequeño, but he's a fellow Mexican. I love that. I love I love putting on for my state. I love New Mexico. Like legit. I love New Mexico. We have the best sunsets, the best chili. I love New Mexico. I wonder how much time we have left. Yeah. Thank you, Ross Smoke, for asking that question. Yeah, people are really not talking about the fact that the virus came from China. This is one of the talks that I was having this weekend, because the same way that I'm just laying out that information, Fauci being connected, the transferring of the bioweapon back in 2015, the fact that we learned that it didn't come from a cave. I actually talked about I did an episode about that, how researchers went into that said cave, grabbed the bats, extracted something from the bats, put it inside of pigs, waited for that pig to die, chopped that pig up, fed that pig to another pig, and then they say that the fecal remains or the meat of that pig was then transferred to the wet market, and that's how it got out. So even if that were the case, you're still having scientists, bioengineers get involved with the development of a virus and then deploying it inside of animals, and then then you see what happens. But yes, originally it came from China. One of the things I'm worried about, though, because that is the truth, and this might be why that narrative is being suppressed, is because if it did come from China and they could have acted but didn't, then we're basically talking about a bioweapons attack. And the reason why that's a problem is because it's not meant to kill off thousands or millions of people right off the bat. It's designed to cripple your enemy and to kill them slowly over time. You get me? That's how poisons work. See, we're just hoping that, it's like quick, kill, dead. No. With the way the world is now, you could really cause a lot more pain and suffering and turmoil by poisoning people and then just profiteering off of your death. You have to understand the sick psychology of the people that we're up against. When I tell you that we're truly up against like technocratic Satanists and occult scientific Satanists and technocratic occultists, it's a very real thing. So yes, we're seeing a lot of things with this coronavirus. I think everybody understands that people are very, very worried about this vaccine, and they have right, so they have a reason to be so. But there's a lot of different things going on, and I think that's what we need to kind of get out there to the public. That people don't necessarily care so much about the virus, but that we need to be worried about the authoritative moves that are taking place with the contact tracing army that's being developed, multiple governments and companies working together to create a vaccine, police enforcing social distancing stuff, beating and berating people. Good Lord, the outright power struggle between like religion and government, like good Lord, it's crazy to see. So if there were any other thoughts or any other things thinking that, we weren't in the New World Order, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. I think we might have time for one more caller, one more guest. Let's get Dark Universe 09 in. Dark Universe 09.
What's going on, fam?
Salutations, Dark Universe.
What's going on? You good?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm just going to say I like what you're doing. Keep up the good work. Keep pushing the truth. Keep waking up the people. We know right now we're in a time of need, and we know with this coronavirus, we know what they're trying to push for. It's just their agenda. They're using a virus to push for their agenda, and that's to lock us down and to tighten the ropes around our necks. And that's what they've always been doing, and the government can never be trusted. We know that the deep state work within the government. Now they're implementing masks, they're implementing social distancing, they're shutting down businesses. They got non-essential workers waiting at home. They got essential workers. So it's a divide and conquer
Yes.
at the same time. And obviously now, people who are unaware of what's happening are ending up in hospital, and then they're getting treated by the hospital with fake COVID tests. Then they're getting put on ventilating machines, blowing their lungs out. They're being put on COVID-19 wards just because they've been told they've got COVID without even a test, and they're doing that more with black people now as well. So we've just got to make people aware. Try and stay from the hospitals, away from the hospitals. Try and stay safe. Try and keep the masks off if you can, because obviously we know that the masks are blocking the airwaves. They're blocking the oxygen to your lungs. They're blocking the oxygen to your blood and causing, other CO2 poisoning or whatever type of stuff. So we've just got to keep pushing the truth and obviously see where it goes, because right now the government are paying essential workers to keep us in bound conditions. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yep. Yeah, precisely, bro. And I've been talking about this. The new priest class is the medical health workers. The new religion is scientism. That's it. It's like all praise goes to the scientists, the technocrats, the healthcare workers. I don't need to think, because I have
exactly
my gods taking care of me. I have Big Brother. I've got the technocracy. I've got the scientific dictatorship looking out for what's best for me. And I don't know what terrifies me worse: the fact that people are willing to go along with this, or the fact that you have an authoritarian government thinking, you're right, I should become the superhero that these people want me to. It's time to become a dictator. That's where we're at.
Well, this is the thing. If it continues, if people don't stand up and wake up and realize, hold on, something's not right, something's wrong, it's going to continue, and it's only going to get worse, because these lot are not going to stop. Once they get us into lockdown now, they're just going to keep. Now they're talking about there's a second wave of coronavirus coming, and how can they tell us there's a second wave of coronavirus? So what, are you telling me that they're planning a second wave now? Because we know as coronavirus hit, they're setting up 5G all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing where you got the 5G, then you've got the chemtrails with the aluminum. So you got the 5G, the chemtrails, and the supposed COVID, which was first called coronavirus. Then they changed the name to COVID-19 because of whatever reason. They want to say it's been spliced with HIV, or it's been whatever. So now they've got a. But we know the patents are for coronavirus. The patents ain't for COVID-19. So where's the catch there? So you can see that coronavirus has been out for a long time because it's a common cold. You get what I'm trying to say?
Well, they're trying to figure out a way to patent the actual virus. It sounds crazy, but
it's all the money.
It's all money. Disease.
It's all money.
It's the craziest thing, bro.
It's all money.
That's how we're going up against like psychopaths, because they're willing to wager your life over a couple of dollars. It's crazy.
And not only that, they tell us the truth. They tell us what they're doing before they do it. They put it in your face before they do it, and now they're actually doing it. Now they're actually putting it into play.
Mm-hmm.
You got the AI.
It's what a psychopath does, dude. It's what a murderous psychopath does. Hey, look, I'm going to kill you, and they say that as they slide the knife into your heart. That's the level of the sick people that we're dealing with. So if we don't call them out for the psychopaths they are, these people that are willing to stab you as they look at you, we're not going to get past that.
And not only that,
you can't fear these people.
Yeah, sorry for cutting you up. Not only that, they'll stab you and they'll say, you liked us doing it because you didn't stop.
Don't you want this? This is for your own good.
Yeah, you're just taking the stabbing and you're not standing up. We're not fighting for our own people. So like we got police brutality, we got police beating up our people, but you got people standing there filming it instead of jumping in and saying, yo, look, we got to stop this now, because the more we film it, the more they're gonna beat us. If we just jump in now and just 5 of us get on this one cop and show him, we don't care if we're getting arrested, we don't even care if we're gonna lose our life, but we're gonna get you because you mess with our people, and we're gonna beat you down just like how you beat us down. If we
Yes.
start implementing these kind of rules and laws on them, they'll back off because they'll be like, hold on, because they know we are powerful people already. They just don't want to start us because right now we are not in a position to be starting a war because we haven't got flipping bombs and planes and whatever else you want to call it. You get what I'm trying to say,
Brother,
family?
I hear you. I hear you. I hate to cut you off, but because we're running out of time. But this is exactly why I'm always trying to get more airtime to the solutions, like with people fighting back, doing these protests, doing these demonstrations, this organized civil disobedience. I'm trying to get airtime to it because people need to know that there are people fighting back,
Of course,
and we can't give in to the fear. But last quick message: what do you want to leave the audience with?
I just want to leave the audience with keep up the good work, wake yourselves up, and just stay focused and just know the truth and switch off the TV, stop watching the TV and build up your immune systems as well. Look about your immune system. Stop thinking about COVID and start thinking about your immune system. And that's all we can do right now. But keep up the good work, family. Peace up, yeah. We'll catch up soon, yeah?
I'll do what I can. Stay strong and safe out there, bro.
Yeah. Love you, brother, yeah? Bless up, family.
Be safe.
Peace up, peace.
There he goes. Dark First. I'll be sure to put all of our amazing guests in the description bar below so you guys can go check it out. I'll also put the interview I did with Dr. Stephanie Groots going over IV treatments and UV light therapy. I'll put that in the description bar below because this is why we do it, to get the information out there, to let people know that we are fighting back, that there is a chance. And it's going to be very narrow. There's no other way to get around it. You've got to keep fighting. That's all we really have. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I really have for you guys and gals. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'll have it in the description bar below. And as always, guys and gals, stay vigilant, expose lies, and share truth. This is Noise Zero, Freedom Faction, out. Lord willing, I'll be here again next week. Coronavirus free. But Lord willing. Thank you guys for tuning into this edition. If you guys want to support us, join our patreon.com exclusive member program. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I really have for you guys and gals. Be safe, stay vigilant, expose lies, and share truth. This is Noise Zero, Freedom Faction, out.